Hello, good morning, and welcome to a forest. I don't know why I said good morning because it's 2 a.m. Well, it is morning, I guess. Brilliant. This was filmed actually in the afternoon, though. I can't remember when. I think it was June. It's definitely before I went out to Morzine, and it was really hot then. I mean, the day I filmed this, I think it was like 16, 17, 18 degree temperature, so I really felt it while I was doing this riding. For some reason, I didn't do any on the bike commentary. I do later on, but I think the first few videos are kind of lacking in it. I've no idea why I thought that was a good idea, why I would have to come back and do this. Maybe it was an experiment. I mean, it's so long ago. This is now January, so what, 8 months after I filmed the damn thing. And I just cannot remember what my thought processes were then. I did think at one point, what if I just filmed it with ambient noises, which is what I've got at the moment. It's I don't know, ambient kind of scenery, gravel and wheezing. So yeah, great. But and coughing, of course. Yeah, January, fantastic. January, well, winter, it's the cold. Spring, it's the pollen, and summer, it's the hay fever. Great. So, yeah, this is A Forest. This isn't the start of A Forest. There's a longish section. It's 1.7 kilometers from the visitor center. Visitor center. I can't say that word. Visitor center. Right, English is my first language, and it's trying very hard not to be at the moment. So, the first trail section goes from the visitor center out onto a fire road, which goes up to a further up car park right at the bottom of the downhill trails. You've got the finish of the shredder, which is technically the end of this cross-country route, but there's also an upper section coming down from the top of the downhill, which is good fun. And if you're watching these videos chronologically, that word in the order I'm uploading. Oh my god, why is it so hard to English tonight? Okay. If you're watching it in the order that I've uploaded, and there's some people riding down the cross country the wrong way, that's please don't do that. That's a bad idea. I have no idea what these guys were doing. I do remember them now, and yeah, how did I not make comments about this when I filmed this? Turns out I did make comments. That's affirming. Great. Yeah, I do remember that. I seem to think for a moment maybe I am going the wrong way, but nope. They are. I have no idea what they were doing. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say. The outbound route goes up to the car parking, and I believe it turns left and goes through into the car park itself. Along the river, I think it's the Water of A. I'd say it's actually a really nice trail. It's also the start of the blue and the green routes, and it's quite nice along there. There's a nice kind of fancy carved bench next to the river and everything. It's a nice kind of warm-up ride. Nice and flat, not any hills or anything. It's good to get into. Unfortunately, I missed every last bit of it, so I am so sorry about that. And I have had plans. This is why it's taken me 8 months to get around to actually editing this stuff. I was planning to go out and refilm it again. And it's not actually that far away from where I live. I did this after work. I did an 8-hour shift. I think it was like a 7:30 till 3:30 shift. Got down to A for about 5 o'clock, and I think I was out there until about 7:30, 8. And yeah, in theory I could just jump into the car and go down after work or on my days off or whatever, but the problem is it's still about 45 minutes drive, and the weather's not been fantastic, and it would just kind of look weird if you had a terrible rainy section and then it went into nice dry sunny. So I've I've been avoiding it. I've been waiting to. I was planning on doing the downhill. Well, I did do the downhill. I mean, if you've been watching the videos, you've seen it. I've done the downhill. I do want to do it again because I'll be honest, it was crap. It was torrential rain, high winds, not fun. Couldn't really get into it. I did have waterproofs on, but I think I managed to split the waterproof trousers down the crotch, right the way up the back, within 2 runs out of a potential 10. So I gave up on that after a while, and I think I missed out the last 3 runs of the day. But out of those 7 runs I did, split between the shredder and the A downhill, I managed maybe one of each that was acceptable to edit and put online. Wow, I've got a cough. So the plan was when I did the downhill, I'd go along and also do that first section of the cross country again, but as I said, horrible weather, raining. I didn't feel up to it. It's easy. I could have done it on the downhill bike up to the start because, as I said, it's flat. It's nothing really. But ooh, sorry, that was the speaker. Unfortunately, yeah, the weather, and it just wasn't feeling it. But I do have plans to go back and refilm the downhill and the shredder, and hopefully get this first section as well. There's a couple of other things I need to do. For example, later on in this trail, there's a section called Bramburn Bash. It's a nice kind of flowy downhilly section. It goes down to a fire road. Just trying to remember off the top of my head. It goes down to a fire road, and then you climb back up out the other side. And then the trail splits off and goes a completely different direction into a new section, which is a diversion. Basically, I think it's Scottish Energy are building a big wind farm at the top of a forest. I don't know if they're still doing it at this point in time, but when I was filming they were still putting pylons up and stuff. So because the site of the wind farm is right at the top of these trails, they've closed off several sections. But they also rebuilt, well, they also built some new sections to bypass it. And I must admit the first section's actually pretty good fun. And I did enjoy that. Trying to spot if it's on my map here. It is not on my map here. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the section. I know one's called Nil Desperandum, and I cannot remember the section before it, but they're both no longer in there. I don't know what the plan is once the wind farm's finished, if they're going to reopen the old trails or it's an optional one, or if they're going to demolish the new section or what. I really hope they don't. I don't know what the old stuff's like, but ooh, okay. Let's just attack the camera. I think that's because I was sweating. Yeah, it was kind of warm. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to reopen the old sections. If they are, I'll go back up and I'll refilm those other sections, the alternative sections, and also this first starter. But until I know what they're going to do, I'm not going to make any decision. And as I'm recording this, we've just had some pretty nasty storms, and from what I've seen, quite a lot of A might have trees down. So if you're kind of planning on going there in the next couple of days or weeks from when this goes online, be careful. Check out the Seven Stains website, or even TrailDog. Wow, why am I saying check out someone else's website? I'm supposed to have this information on my site. That's the point in TrailDog, though I've not really kind of got that working yet, because it's effort and I work full time and stuff. Anyway, that was Rabs Slippy one, and this coming up is Green Hill, and it is a fantastic bit of trail. Thank you for watching. Please like, favourite or subscribe, and I got rid of the adverts. Hooray!